Alright guys, welcome back. I've got my chauffeur back today. We are going to one gym. I've got push and Jenny has legs. And we are officially less than 5 weeks out. 4 weeks and 5 days.
Oh,
yeah. So shit's getting real. And we both had a good high day yesterday. I had 1,000 grams of carbs. Jenny had 600. We're both very full by the end of the day, but sometimes that's just how it has to be to really fuel the upcoming week's training. So we're both back onto low food today. I've made food drops, I've made cardio increments for a rest day at least. Jenny has had a cardio increase on her upper days and her rest days, as well as some food drops as well. So yeah, we're both digging, and you know, for what we had yesterday, I was happy that I gained, it was like 2 kilos, and Jenny gained about 1.5. And that'll all come back off in the next 2 or 3 days, and then we'll be at a new low. But it's really important that when you go into that new week where you're planning to like push harder with cardio and drop food, that you don't go into that Monday empty, because then you'll just be catabolic. So you know, we fueled up and we're ready to have a really good session today. And yeah, obviously, you know, Jenny doesn't normally train at one gym, but today is predominantly free weight, so she's got like barbell hip thrust, dumbbell stiff legs, and a couple cable variations which you can pretty much replicate in any gym.
We've got the same standing abduction as well, so I can do the same session pretty much.
So exactly, so has its perks, and I get a bit of company. It gets to that point in prep where you do want your partner to be the person that's going through it with you, to be there supporting each other. And I'll be back in Ultraflex for, you know, Jenny's sessions later in the week, because we line up, is it Friday, Saturday? We'll both be in. Yeah, so yeah, we get, you know, a good amount of time in the week. There's just a couple of days where we don't train alongside one another, but it's good at this point to push each other. I like to see how Jenny's, you know, sets are holding up, making sure she's getting everything out of it, and you know, she supports me through my sets as well, so it's good. You know, like, we didn't prep together since 2019, so it's been nice to do it again. We're back on the treadmill together every day, so that's been really nice. And we just made sure that we make enough progress so that we can refeed together, because, you know, we'll see other people doing that and we're like, oh yeah, your body's totally lined up, but we make it that way. And
well, you had a refeed last week and I didn't have anything.
That's true, but when she gets one, I get one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not watching her eating one.
It's
not all about that though. It is, it's like I said in my previous videos, I've got a lot more weight, a lot more muscle to protect, and for that reason I don't really see myself going more than 10 days without a high carb day. In the past I've done like 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, pretty much a whole prep without a refeed. But that's nothing to be proud of if it ends up meaning that you have a stringy, you know, depleted physique come the end of prep. You know, and I'm going to be on stage now with like 15 kilograms more muscle than I had when I was this teenager prepping for all them shows back in the day where I didn't carb up when I should have. So yeah, I tend to have it every Sunday. I think I might push it all the way through till Monday next week, so I do typically have a high day on a rest day, because I feel that I'm not burning as much. Then those carbs are really going to get utilised and not burnt off straight away. However, with me only training I only rest on a Wednesday and a Sunday. If I do refeed on that Sunday, then I'm only getting one rest day a week where I can really get that drop, because calories are lower on a rest day. So I think this week I'm actually going to do Wednesday and Sunday low, and then we're probably both going to carb up next Monday. So we've got 7 full days of digging, and then we'll probably carb up together next Monday. So looking forward to that, and I reckon we'll both be down at new lows considerably by then, with having that extra rest day that we normally carb up on. So yeah, looking forward to that. But anyway, push today was really strong last time, and I had a refeed yesterday, so I'll be even stronger today. Really looking forward to that. Loving these machines. I'll try and get clips of most of my pressing. It is getting to that point in prep where, like, as you'll have noticed, I'm getting a video maybe up every 7 to 10 days rather than every 5. Less energy, wanting to really make these sessions count. I don't want to be too distracted when training, but I am getting some footage for you guys, and if it ends up being like a fly on the wall, you know, videos so to speak, where I get the sets done and maybe say a couple words and then I crack on, hopefully you still enjoy that type of content. I know the last video I said that would be the case, and I still waffled on anyway, but can't help myself. I like to educate and, you know, explain what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, it's getting close now, and I want you guys to see, you know, the intensity's still there, and if I don't get as much training footage as I would like to, then I'll just make sure that I film the rest of the day. I'll show you some of our meals, what we get up to, and you know, show you guys more than just the training side of things. But yeah, I haven't done a training day, full day of eating, and I will soon, but I will show you the post-workout meal and whatnot. But for now, we're going to park up at the gym, get our coffee in, and get to it. Alright, so that was my last warm-up on the pec deck. I always start with this now. I always pre-exhaust my chest. For years I just did pressing first and always built great triceps and shoulders and lacked the pecs. So if you've been following along for a while, you'll know that I always start with a fly now. I don't really use a considerable weight. That was, 34 kilograms. Now I'm going for 39. You can see there's a lot of the stack left, a lot more weight. But for me, I wasn't able to do these for a long time because of my shoulders. I could only do a downwards fly or no flies at all. So just very grateful to be doing these again, to really open up the chest and evenly contract the pecs in a different plane of movement, rather than, being solely able to train the pecs with the secondary muscle groups like the triceps and the front delts. Just being able to fly now, full contractile range, really good contraction. Yeah, really happy about that, and it's tremendous, shift in my pec development in the last few months because of that. Not only because of the movement itself, but when I do this and then go on to the press afterwards, I see, a much better connection, and it hasn't really detracted from my load. You would think that, when you're doing that, you're pre-exhausting, you're tiring out the chest, and it's going to negatively impact your pressing. But I really don't feel that. I feel that I'm able to get stronger every week regardless. So it just ensures that I'm really warm, and a muscle that was once a weakness is really starting to catch up now. So really, really grateful for that. This set, I'll go for about 12 to 15, and I'll just follow that up with the same weight and get about 10 to 12 on the second set. So it's been progressing nicely. I am trying to progress it like any other exercise, but in a very safe manner. You will see, like any exercise, a pause and a pause at the top and bottom. Nothing's thrown. I don't want to put my pec in a vulnerable position or to be too erratic with my technique. It's very strict, very slow. That way I can progress it, but also be really safe. Okay, 13 last week, or last time I did this, so aiming for about 14 reps. One more. Okay, 15 reps, 2 reps up on last session, so yeah, refeed did the trick. Alright, so my main incline press at the minute is the Panata Super Incline Press, very similar to the hammer. I think it just keeps the tension on a little bit better though, so and the weight converges a little bit more, or at least where I place my hands, it just feels more comfortable than the hammer. I get less front delt activation and a good bit more pec. So yeah, really enjoying this machine, which I initially do overhand, and then for the exercise afterwards I'll go with the neutral grip, so I get even greater conversion at the top. But yeah, really rating this movement at the minute, and I tend to get the top of the rep range. I'm aiming for 8 to 10, and I keep hitting 10, and I just add a kilo and just keep going in that manner. It's not a big progression week to week, but I don't want to jump up too much in the weight. I want to kind of keep the progression small so that the tempo, range of motion, change of direction, everything stays the same. But over a 10-week period, that's 10 kilos. So yeah, really, really enjoying this, connecting well, and seeing the strength climb up. So yeah, I'll get this work set done, and hopefully progress both sets today like I have been up until now.
Yeah, so 1 kilo up and the same reps. Really happy with that. It was a hard temp, so just progressed that. But Thursday is, like 4 days ago, I did the same reps, but a kilo less, and that last rep was equally as hard as that one there. So to be able to get like a kilogram stronger every like 4 days, really, I'll take that all day long. It's going to get to that point in prep soon where I am just maintaining strength. So I'll really take these opportunities, really get locked in for each set, focus, get a good song on, and make it happen, because I know I won't be getting stronger and stronger for, 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, 1 week out. I'll just be maintaining strength. So these are my last few sessions coming up now, where I can take those progressions, and then what builds the muscle will keep the muscle. So if I can hold that weight there whilst getting off those last bits of body fat, I'll be over the moon. But yeah, really glad to be taking that kind of progression just under 5 weeks out. Hopefully I can do the same on Thursday. And when I feel necessary to do so, I just change the rep range a little bit. If I feel like, I'm a little bit vulnerable today, that feels tight, I won't do 8 to 10, I'll do 12 to 15. So I muck about with it like that. But let's say, for instance, I'm progressing nicely, I'll probably do 8 to 10 reps for about 4 sessions, and then I'll chuck in the 12 to 15 set, and then I'll go back to my 8 to 10. So I don't change the exercises, because the exercises work. But I just, chuck in an odd, different rep range every few weeks. And I find that actually stops the exercise from stagnating. If I did 8 to 10 every week for like 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, eventually I just hit a wall. Chucking in that set of 12 to 15, I find it shocks the body, which I know people hate people saying, but it does. And then when I go back to 8 to 10, I get another progression. So don't be scared to, not necessarily deviate from your plan. You're still doing the same movements. But just chuck in a random high rep set. And it doesn't have to be 20 reps, 30 reps, just 12 to 15 instead of 8 to 10. And it definitely helps me get a week where I'm not just repeating the same exact thing. And I find that I don't hit a wall. I'm able to keep seeing that linear progression, so long as every 5th or 6th session I adjust the rep range. I might do that this Thursday, given I'll be getting more and more depleted. And next Monday I'll be well fueled again after another refeed. You can see that's why I keep doing these refeeds, guys, because if I didn't, I might just hit a wall already. And I don't want to be getting weaker or maintaining strength at 5 weeks out. I accept it about 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out. But these next 3 or 4 workouts, these next 2 or 3 push days anyway, I want to still get stronger, and then I'll be happy to cruise in and maintain, given my last show isn't for another 7 weeks, just under 7 weeks. So I don't really have time to be getting weaker now or hitting the wall. I want to keep getting stronger, and then just 1 or 2 weeks out from the regional, hold strength, same into the pro qualifier. But if I take a progression at that point, that's a bonus. But right now, try to keep driving strength up. So the high day on the Sunday really benefits today's Monday push workout. So yeah, that being said, get this back offset done now, and show you some of the other movements. Cool. 10. Yeah, 10 reps there, 1 kilogram up on Thursday session. So Nice steady progression on that as well. It gets harder as you get deeper into the prep, to progress the next movement and the next movement. For example, I've got a shoulder press next, a high incline, and I had to do what I just mentioned there about the changing of the rep ranges, rotating them. So one session doing like 8 to 10, the next session doing 10 to 12, just because it was being the third exercise, it was starting to stall. I hit 9 reps like 2 weeks in a row, and I did a session where I upped the reps a bit, lighter weight, and then on Thursday went back to the heavier weight for the 8 to 10, and I got 10 with a weight I'd been stuck at for 9 for a fortnight. So that adjustment to the rep range, kind of chucking something different in there, definitely works. But these two movements, the overhand and the neutral, they always progress. It's just as you get deeper into the session, third exercise, you've got to bear in mind I've got less fuel now. Obviously I refed yesterday, but typically I've got less fuel. So yeah, the first 1 or 2 exercises can be strong, but then as you get halfway through the session or into the second half, yeah, that's when you can start to see, all right, I'm progressing in the first exercise, but not the third. But fingers crossed today, I do still progress the shoulder press. Got another set in here. I want to beat that as well, and that'll be every set of the session so far. Better than last Monday, better than Thursday. So, I hope to keep that going into the third exercise. I'll do my best to warm up efficiently and whatnot. But yeah, get this second set done, and I'll show you the high incline press, which is exercise 3, and it'll be my last press. And then I'll be finishing off with some side lateral raises, so that'll be pushed on. But yeah, I'll get that covered for you, and then we'll catch up after the session. Okay, last thing we're going to film today is the high incline machine press. Like I said last time, I was kind of stalling it and then I progressed it. So 45 kilograms a side. I'm just going up to 46 now. Great thing about this gym is they've got 1 kilogram plates, and I've got my 0.5s in the bag, so I'm able to take those tiny little progressions rather than jumping up and form adjusting, losing loads of reps. So I can just kind of get a nice smooth progression. But yeah, with that being said, it's up 2 kilograms total, 1 kilo a side. So I'll be happy to just get like 8 or 9, but I will strive for 10. Now, like I say, when you get to this point in the session, you're getting tired, you've progressed your first few presses, and that can have a knock-on effect on this one. I just really try and psych myself up. But one thing I wanted to kind of point out is, the way I psych myself up now compared to maybe a few years ago, I try and be a lot more positive with my thoughts. So I kind of think about what I'm trying to achieve with my prep, with my show. And in the past, maybe influenced by other people and what they say you should do, I was kind of like negative, kind of try to think kind of like angry thoughts and that kind of like fuck you energy and all that kind of stuff. And I really don't like to go into that. I try and live my life positively. And when I try and approach these sets, instead of getting into this kind of like angry mind space, I still get my adrenaline up, which you'll see mid-set, like I look angry, but I'm trying to think positive things. I'm trying to think like this set could be something that makes a difference between first and second, keeping that momentum going every week, getting stronger, with the good reps and whatnot. So, as I say, go into this set positive, confident, and determined to get shit done. And let's see what I get. Hopefully I get 10. I might surprise myself, 2 kilograms up and get the same reps. That'd be great. But regardless, let's go for it. Nine reps there, really happy with that. 2 kilograms up, remember, so you're not always going to get heavier weight and the same reps, especially as you get deeper into the session. So very pleased with that. Next time, hopefully get 10 and just take it rep by rep, and that's how your body responds. You do sets that are overwhelmingly challenging, your body acknowledges that, and it's like, right, I need to get a bit stronger to cope with this. So that's how your body just keeps adding that rep, because you're challenging it. If you go in and do the same weight with the same reps, and you kind of like put the dumbbells down or the machine down, when you're approaching that point where your body's really struggling, then your body will just stay there because it doesn't see any need to get stronger. Whereas when you do sets like that, where the last rep's a real struggle, your body tries to overcompensate by adding a bit more strength, and that's how I'm able to come in here every 3 or 4 days for my push session and get that extra bit of weight, get that extra rep, because I'm telling my body, you better keep getting stronger because I'm going to keep doing this, I'm going to keep adding weight. So try to make sure within your own training, guys, that you're not just lifting the same weight for the same reps. You've got to try and push past your comfort zone, and that doesn't mean picking the heaviest dumbbell that you're clearly not capable of using. It can just be a tiny little bit of weight that you're adding, an extra rep on last week, and over a 3-month, 6-month, 12-month period, you'll see a massive increase in strength, and consequently your body will change a lot. So bear that in mind, but also without, you know, good technique, you're not really going to target the muscle properly. So remember, form first, weight next, but always striving for that a little bit more each time. But yeah, that's it for the session, guys. Catch you afterwards.
Alright, post-workout meal, we've got cream of rice, we've got the JP banoffee flavour. I love banoffee. I've not had it in years, like a banoffee pie, so hopefully it resembles that. And then we've got the Perform cinnamon donut. I've heard a lot of people who've had the concentrate version, they rave about this flavour, so I'm glad they finally got it in isolate, and yeah, we're finally trying it. So had that yesterday, it was really, really good. So this is a new post-workout, first time having this though. So yeah, I've got that, and Jenny has kindly made it into a whey paste, which
maybe a little bit runny, sorry.
Nah, it'll be fine. So we're going to enjoy that. Obviously we've been travelling back from the gym, wanted this hot, so we're both very much ready to eat it. But I need to let you know, if you haven't got me on Instagram or you just missed it, I did start working with Pit Stop Nutrition, who has been Jenny's sponsor for about 4 years now, and we've got a code together for our coaching company called Driven Coaching, and it's DRVN. I will put that in the description below, the link to Pit Stop and the code. But if you want to try any of these things or any other supplements, essential amino acids, creatine, you name it, you can get that for 10% off your total order by using code Driven. So make sure to do that, and let us know, you know, what you try, and show us your core and whey paste creation. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe.